trick that I'll share with you. I can choose a better way with every little thought I think. If I wake up with a bad attitude, I fill my mind with gratitude. I give thanks for everything with every little thought I think. I can choose to be happy, choose to be free, moment by moment. It's all up to me, 'cause what I think about, I bring about. That's the way it is, and there is no doubt. Day by day, I pave the way with every little thought I think.
Hello and welcome. I am so glad you're here. I'm Beth, a creator-based coach with CMH Coaching for Life. I'm here today to help you and those you love create a life you feel grounded and at home in. Think of a life where you feel peace, love for those around you, and in a flow with just enough challenge to keep you happy and creating something wonderful. Sounds like magic, but it's not. You can create that life every single day. You can have a life full of love, excitement, hope, and creation. Our mission at CMH Coaching is to flood the earth with light through compassion, mindfulness, and hope. And I'm going to ask a favor of you. If you like what you see and hear today, think of someone you know that would enjoy and benefit from this message. Our mission is to flood the world with compassion, mindfulness, and hope. Share this with them. But for now, this is time just for you. So settle into whatever you're doing and enjoy this time with the girls, where we create that one awesome, amazing, perfect life every one of us is seeking.
What you thinking? What you thinking? What you thinking? What you thinking? You gotta watch your thinking. Watch your thinking. Watch your thinking.
Yeah. Here we go. Welcome to CMH Coach. Oh, sorry. I'm going to edit that out. That's your duty. Welcome to the Creator-Based Way. Or, nope, we're going to try again. I might actually just leave this in here.
B- is good enough, Beth.
B- is good enough. Okay, so one more time. Welcome to a Creator-Based Life. That's the name of this podcast. It's a podcast for the Creator-Based Way, which is part of CMH Coaching for Life's mission. We're here to help women and men, but we do mostly work with women, learn and realize, first, you're the creator of your life experience. All kinds of things come your way, but you always get to choose. Always get to choose. Nobody can take that away from you. You can even default, but when you default from choosing, you're still choosing. You just start over. Welcome to a Creator-Based Life, the podcast for CMH Coaching for Life. We are here, and there will be a blooper reel at the end of this because my brain just didn't do anything today. But we're here today because I want to share this with Jen. Can you see my new mechanical pencil?
Green.
Isn't it the coolest? It's lime green. It's clear, and it's brand spanking new because Walmart has school supplies on sale.
Yeah.
And it's August, and I have 2 brand spanking new mechanical pencils that I'm just in love with. You even can twist this, and the eraser comes up.
Well, it looks like a good eraser, too.
Right. It's got a really good plastic eraser. It's not going to smudge up your paper. It's great because even though I am no longer in school, it's still August, and I still need school supplies. I need cute notebooks, and I need that whole change where we go from summer to school. And it feels like it's just full of possibility, the fall. I know you're feeling it too, because you and I have talked about you going back to school over the last few weeks.
Yes.
And doing some school that way. But it's just changes in the air, right? We're looking at August shifts to everything past Labor Day, which heads to Christmas. It's like, bam.
Bam, yeah.
We're there. Yeah. But what I love about it is it's a fresh start. You know, we finished the whole of summer self-care. And I hope everybody got their wish in summer self-care. When we started in May, it was, how would you like to feel on Labor Day? That was the whole process with summer self-care. And we ended with mule mind, which is my absolute favorite topic, because horses will, they will give their life for their owners. They want so badly to please that they will continue. They have such big hearts, continue to work and to pull and do everything they can until they collapse. Mules don't do that. We've had horses. My neighbor has mules. We've had goats and cows and all the different animals. But a mule, when he knows that it's not going to be good for him or that he can't really do that, he will just sit down and refuse to move. And that mule mind, I guess I just can understand it because I got a lot of mind in me. Yeah. But when we look at the end of the summer and we made it to Labor Day and we're ready for change, it just feels good. Does that happen for you, Jen?
Yes, I absolutely. Fall is like fall and spring, the changing seasons are my
My
favorite.
favorites, right?
Yeah,
It's like,
there's an energy that there's something is going to change, and fall
and
is,
good things are coming.
yeah, yeah.
Good things are coming. Yeah. However, for me, over the years, not only are good things coming, but hard things are coming. Because I can go, oh yeah, I can't wait. And then there's a little part of me that will go, yeah, but remember this, it was really hard. And so there might be like a little element of dread as well. But that's just part of a 50-50 life, right?
Mhm.
Change is a gift. And so that's kind of what we want to talk about this week is how is change a gift, even when it's not the change you would have wanted? Have you had that happen?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
story of my life.
Do
Yeah.
you something specific?
Oh, I mean, I think most of us have like this idea how life is supposed to go for us.
Mhm.
And
I
honestly,
have my full expectation package right there.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like honestly, can you go back and say it did that?
No, it's nothing like
No.
what I wanted it to. But what's crazy is it's nothing like what I wanted it to be. It's way harder than I ever
Mhm.
thought it would be, and I wouldn't change any of it.
Exactly. And probably parts of it are way better than you ever thought about.
Way better.
It's just
Yeah.
that, there's something to be said about when we go through hard things and have to do hard things. It actually strengthens your brain. There are studies in neuroscience that it singular I the it's the part that's in between the two hemispheres that communicate back and forth.
Uh-huh.
The singular
Is it
cortex.
the little like the white matter that's right between?
I think that's what it is. I think it's called the singular cortex or cortex, something like
And it's
that.
actually like almost like a skin. It's
Yeah,
really thin. Yeah.
I think. Don't quote me on that. But
Yeah. Well,
what I do know is like it like it grows when you do hard things, when you make yourself do the difficult.
yeah. And when you live through the really hard stuff, this was so comforting to me. For instance, if you've ever lived through the death of someone you love, you know that the first time that happens, it's always really hard, but it's absolutely devastating. You've never done anything like that before. You just don't know what to do next. It's so hard. When it happens again in your life, whether it's losing your cat or losing a sibling, it doesn't matter.
Mhm,
But when it happens again, your brain's already wired
mhm.
to know somewhat about what that loss feels like. And so by living through it the first time, and I just found this strangely comforting, you're more ready for the second time.
Well, it's now known. It's not uncertainty. There's now
Right.
some known in it of what it's going to feel like and what you're going to need to do and things like that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And it still hurts like heck. I mean, loss just does.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing about change is we don't know. It's so uncertain. We know that something's going to happen. We know things are there. We just don't know. And so a
Yeah.
lot of times people don't lean into it. And I myself will shy away because I'm like, yeah, I think I'm going to need a detailed account. But no, it's that growth and building that part of your brain and that part of your character, I guess you could say, as you go through the hard thing and you do the hard thing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's wild. I think one of the things that I really love about change, though, is when we bring ourselves to the space that we recognize that it's constant.
Mhm.
It was something Troy used to say when he would come home from work because I am a chronic furniture rearranger.
Mhm.
For me to clean, I have to move everything. And if I'm going to move it, I'm going to move it into a completely different way of my couch is going to be somewhere else. My table's going to be somewhere else. It's just really fun. And he would come in the front door on a day that I had cleaned and he'd just walk into the house and he'd say, the only constant is change.
The only constant is change. The only thing you can count on.
Yeah, and that became a mantra for us as our kids grew, as we had one job replaced another job, as one animal died, and we had like we when we didn't have goats anymore, then we had cows. And when we didn't have as many cows, then we had horses. And just each one, the only constant is change.
Mhm.
And you're always living in change.
Well, the world teaches us that if we look at nature, look at the seasons. There's always change.
Always change. But yet, as human beings,
Always changing. The world's natural world is always changing.
but
Doesn't
that's not what we want as human beings, is it?
I
Aren't
think
we
we
always craving some kind of constancy and some
Oh yeah,
kind of
absolutely. I think
power
there's
and control?
well, because there's safety in that. And yeah, but to live more like the natural world would probably be really less stressful, you
It really
know.
would. It would, just to go with the rhythm of the seasons and to accept that the tree opens its buds, the leaves come out, the leaves do their thing, and then the leaves die, and we go on to the next season.
And then it
If we
happens again. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we could accept that rhythm, but there aren't a lot of us that
Fight
accept
against it.
rhythm.
We fight. There's some level of security that I think we all really like, But what really helped me is because I used to be very much so like wanting to control every outcome, and
Yeah,
yeah, I wanted security, I wanted knowing and things like that, and it was the whole thing that I learned in the coaching and in the training, things like that. It's things are going to happen, but it's not going to stay. Those hard things aren't going to stay hard for too long. I mean, like I know some people struggle with some like really bad health stuff and things like that. So those things are more of a consistent long-term
they
thing.
might be consistent, but if you are working with them, the physicalness of them might stay the same, but the emotional changes.
Emotional can
Yeah,
change,
yeah.
and the understanding and the things like that. So there
Yeah.
is even, change within change. Does that make sense?
Then change, right? It's just
Change
crazy.
within change, yeah. But just that whole thing, knowing that when I would get into a difficult situation or a situation I didn't like, and learning to just accept this is where we're at, this is what's going on.
Yeah.
You know what? The level that I am experiencing right now and feeling right now, it's not going to stay. It's going to
Yes,
change.
it came to pass.
Yeah, it's going to change. I just
Mhm.
have to get through it. Yeah.
Yeah, that is one of my very favorite phrases. It came to pass. It didn't come to stay. Even if it's a joyous moment, it
Mhm.
came to pass. It's just, but there are a couple of things that did not come to pass. Want to guess?
What?
My breath, my breath, my ability to breathe will stay with me
Yeah.
until
Okay.
I'm done with my body. So that for me is a comfort. When I'm in a place where there's too much change, I can always come back to my breath. It
Mhm.
is always there. Now, you have asthma,
Yeah.
so that would be different. How can you still do that? Can you still come back to your breath like that?
Oh yeah. I find that when I'm in those difficult situations, I do the big deep,
The
I do
belly breath?
and I do a lot of that deep breathing and holding and then blowing out.
Yes.
I do it I just do it now subconsciously.
Yeah, because it's become a habit.
Yeah. And that helps like ground me and get me in a situation. But yeah, I've learned also like in the long term, like when something is changing and it's kind of hard and it's long term, is letting it just be what it is and looking in it, I'm very much okay. If I'm going to be in this, I'm going to learn something. I need to get something out of it besides just wounds or bruises, you know?
Well, and it's like the key. I was working this morning. I was working on putting together the Hope course. We're getting ready to put it back up for free on Facebook and on Instagram, so people can glean that and have that extra help to create hope through the coming holidays and through the winter. And the two principles at the beginning of the Hope course were acceptance and allowing.
Yep.
Because we might fall into a hole, but we dig the hole deeper when we refuse to accept that we're in the hole.
Yes.
And we dig it even deeper still when we won't allow ourselves to be in the hole. So it makes sense. That's what would affect you the most, is just to say,
We're
here.
here.
This is
We're
where
here.
Yeah.
And it's going to be what it's going to be. And but like I said, what really helps me is when I say, okay, what am I going to learn about me or others or my creator in this moment or in this season, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that helps me get through things because I'm all like, okay, there's a lesson here if I but see it.
Well, and it's expecting, and you can teach yourself to expect to learn from it, right?
Mhm.
Have that be not your first response. Like you said, your first response is breath. And me too. I tend to take one deep breath and then I'll do the physiological sigh breath, the double breath.
Mhm.
And for me, especially after doing Tai Chi now for a couple of years, as I blow it out, I can feel my shoulders come down and my feet sink in. And I'm like, okay, I'm okay. So in change, I can always count on my breath. I can sometimes, and I'm better than I used to be, count on my response.
Yeah.
Those are things that never change. I will always have the opportunity to choose.
Mhm.
And I will always have the opportunity as to where I put my attention. That's part of my choice, right? And so change, like you said, you put your attention on, what am I learning? What will come of this? What good is at the end? Or I know it comes to pass. All of those things make hard change easier.
Yeah. And the phrase that you taught me, well, what if it's wonderful?
Yeah, because it could be just as wonderful as it could be bad. And so challenging that thought, that doubt thought, or that fear thought. And I have done that recently. Just, well, what if something, because you don't know, you turn the corner and it could be
Yeah.
amazing.
Well, and I also learned this in this whole journey of self and everything. I also learned, and I love this quote it made me change my perspective on when I was going through hard things. The quote I can't remember who said it. Apologize, but the quote is
You know what, Google
sometimes
will know if you need
yeah,
to know. Yeah.
sometimes good things have to fall apart for better things to fall together. And so sometimes when I'm in that, I'm like, okay, so better things are coming. Can
Yeah.
better
So
things
better
fall
things.
together?
Yeah. Yeah. Even when it's really, really hard,
Mhm.
there is something there to be grateful for, and to look forward to. Not to mean that you have to. And I
Mhm.
think that's the important thing. We always have the capacity to choose. And that means we can choose to sit in the yuck too.
Oh, I sit in it sometimes and have a tantrum, but I
Yeah,
don't. I try not to
that's
stay.
okay. There
I mean,
is
that's
nothing wrong
human.
with it. That
That's
that
human.
toxic positivity, when
Mhm.
coaching started to really trend and people were all writing about how you could think yourself out of anything and it will all be good. And it really caused a lot of pain for a lot of people because they're like, well, I'm not happy, so I must be doing it wrong.
Yeah. Mhm.
And to understand that, yes, change is great and change is terrible, both. But you can, as you accept and as you allow, you
Mhm.
can go right along with it and you can learn from all of it and enjoy all of it in some way or another.
Yeah. There's also I think it's in Corinthians, the scripture where Paul talks about in all times and places. And
I
it's
have
really helped
learned
me because I was always thinking, oh, I'm not happy, so like I must be doing it wrong.
you must be doing it wrong if I'm
Yeah.
unhappy, right? Yeah,
Or I need to be happy. Everybody's saying happy.
in order
And
for it to be right.
yeah, he taught that no, you learn to be content. And content is very different from happiness.
Yes.
And
Yes.
you can be content in the hard places and in the hard times and in the joy and the good times.
Okay, so let's talk about that. Emotional contentment. There are three pillars in CMH coaching. There's relationships, there's physical health, and there's emotional contentment. And we're always working on those three. We tend to feel our most full selves when we've got all three of those pillars together. How does one create emotional contentment?
Wow. I think that's a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah,
um,
there's lots of different ways to do it, which is really cool. And I think
yeah,
the first one is to realize you can't do it wrong.
no. But I really think it really comes down maybe at a starting point, what I would do with somebody is like, let's examine your thoughts and see what your perspective is. Because
Yeah.
maybe if we can tweak that, we'll stop chasing happiness and then we'll be more content with what we have.
Emotional contentment, a spiritual practice.
Definitely.
We're called creator-based coaching because we believe we descend from a divine creator.
Mhm.
So there's spiritual practice there with prayer and meditation. There's spiritual practices in nature. There's all kinds of different ways that we can have spiritual practices. And the spiritual practice really helps us to be content in whatever situation we're in. We slowly learn that. And I know there's a brain gig about that because
Oh,
you
so
sent
what?
there's a brain thing about that.
Oh yeah, I
That
haven't heard of
about how when we practice spiritual, when we have a spiritual practice of some kind, maybe that's a full-blown, I am associated with a particular religion and I do all the things in my religion, or maybe that is I have a meditation practice at
it.
home and I have different ways that I express my relationships. Doesn't matter, a spiritual practice.
Yeah, well, it's the reel that I sent you is I believe she's a doctor. I know she's of neuroscience, and she talks about how they've imaged the brains of people who have this spiritual practice, and all that you named, and how their brains are actually healthier, and it's actually something that's even. I think she called it a thick brain, like the brain was
Yeah, she said
thicker,
thickening, that the
and
wall of the brain thickened.
Dickens. And it was they were studying against depression,
Mhm.
and so it's like she I'll have to like we'll have to like find who she is and put it up for you guys. But it's basically spirituality to help with those who deal with the depressive states, and that they
Yeah.
had great change in those people who practiced. So
Well, it is any kind of a spiritual practice is so health promoting, just
to see the actual change in the brain through imaging, I was like, that's so cool.
so cool. Well, and we do Tai Chi, which is a moving meditation, which is deeply spiritual for a lot of people. The man that I learned from has a very deep spiritual practice associated with the Chinese culture and finds just great strength and solace in his spiritual practice. And so you think about the physical things that we do spiritually then become brain strengtheners, right? Did they say in the reel too that they found that people who just aren't doing any spiritual, but are just really depressed and having a hard time, have that same area that thins,
Yeah,
right?
it's a thinning in the brain and a thickening. Those are the words she used.
Yeah. And so adopting an opportunity to follow your breath on a daily basis, just a really simple presence meditation, or choosing to have a standard and then living to whatever that standard is for you. Those things, I just think it's so cool that their brain health.
I know your brain actually changes when you meditate or pray or have a spiritual practice. I think that's just so cool to me.
Yeah, it
Physical
was
organ
so
changes
validating to me
for
because,
the better.
yeah,
Yeah.
for the better. Yeah. So, okay, let's talk about a couple things that were in Monday Morning Inspiration today. And if you guys don't get Monday Morning Inspiration, it's so easy. Come to CMHCoaching.com. I'll say it again, CMHCoaching.com. C like compassion, M like mindfulness, H like hope. And if you think about it, compassion plus mindfulness creates hope, which is really fun. But CMHCoaching.com, hang around about 30 seconds and you'll get a pop-up. And all you need to do is put your name and your email address in it, and you'll get Monday morning inspiration every week. So this week we're talking about change in the Monday morning inspiration. Two things. Noticing what's precious.
Mm.
Wouldn't it be fun to have a precious practice?
Precious.
I'm like, that would be so cool to have a precious practice. The things, I have a particular fluorite stone that is really precious to me. I hold it in my hand. It has a lot of deep meaning. And that brings me a spiritual feeling with
Mhm.
that because I'm creating the energy of memories and gratitude and just so much beautiful energy there. So a precious practice. What would that look like for you?
Well, this sounds to something similar that I did a long time ago. They called it a happy practice. It's like
Oh,
those
okay.
items that would bring you joy or happiness.
Uh-huh.
I mean, of course, they would be your precious things, right? And so just taking a moment and being aware of that and just sitting in the being of this is bringing me happiness, joy, or whatever feelings, gratitude or whatever. So
Yeah.
that's I think a precious practice.
I love that. Yeah, I love that. I have precious people in my
Mhm.
life that I can sit and remember. In fact, I just found out that precious person number 28 will arrive next spring. I'm very excited about that. I found that out over the weekend. And so I have these precious people and these precious relationships that I can go through and think about. So just 5 minutes. What if we just set a timer on my watch and said, tell me when 5 minutes is up, and just commit to think about the things that are precious to me? I would be willing to bet that that would make change so much more negotiable and so much more happy, even when it's not happy.
And even I would want to put it in the back of my head to just be aware during the day when a precious thing pops up.
Yes, because we a lot of times will refer to them as a tender mercy, a
Mhm.
connection with our creator. It's precious.
Or
And so,
joy spotting or sparks or glimmers, things
yeah,
like that. Yeah.
yeah, glimmers and joy spotting. It would be fun to do a word hippo search on the word precious
Yeah.
and see how
See
much
what are the other ones.
and find that out. The other one is why I'm so glad you joined me today.
Oh
The
dear.
other one is try curiosity.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so what can you speak to us? What is the power of curiosity? Why do we keep seeing curiosity?
I, for me,
Yeah.
curiosity takes me out of a victim state and puts me more into a creator state.
How's it do that?
Because if I'm in a victim state, it's like this is happening to me. Whoa, whoa, whoa. If I get curious about what's happening for me, my brain just switches into like detective mode or
Which is in the creator state. Yeah, you turn
yeah,
into I
like
wonder and a detective, and
yeah.
so
And
I
so
am
now it's like
investigating.
I'm trying to figure it out, or I'm looking for a pattern, or it's like I become more empowered in my state of whatever I'm in instead
Uh-huh.
of just woe, despair, and agony on me, type thing. We talk about that hee haw song a lot in this.
Yes, someday I'm going to have to ask you to sing it.
I'm not singing it. I'll just tell everybody go listen to the hee haw song.
Go find the hee-haw song. That's right. Oh my gosh, I love
But I
it.
think curiosity does something. That's actually something I should research that because it's such a big thing for me. What does it actually do for the brain? You know,
Yeah, yeah,
and when
because it
I
definitely flips the switch.
Mhm.
I choose because a lot of times my mind will get fixated on something that I think is wrong
Mhm.
or in one way or another. And so I'll get fixed in this negative victim loop and it'll be running. And a lot of times it'll be running, the loop will be running for a while before I do anything to address it. I just know that I'm ornery and I just
Yeah,
want to pick a fight somewhere. And then I realize, oh, this is the cycle of thoughts that's going round and round in my head. And as soon as I notice the cycle, because I'm a big blocks kind of gal. I just want to take the hatchet and stop it.
yeah,
But that doesn't work because then I've got all the negativity of the hatchet, the anger on top of the
yeah.
negative cycle, and it makes it
And kind of
worse.
like that controlling feeling, like, got to control this. Well, why don't we just
Right,
get
right, got to
curious
control
about
this. And that just drives me deeper down into that victim place, and I get more and more ornery and poor people that have to be around me in that state. So that one step, curiosity. Well, I wonder what this is about. Then I literally, in my mind's eye, step back. Yeah. And I've
It's like
stepped almost like stepped out of the whole situation. It's so powerful.
you create a space and now you're looking at it like you can objectively now look at something or,
Yes.
or more
In
objectively.
like in my mind's eye, when I meditate,
Mhm.
I have a particular spot at the top of the hill that I
Mhm.
sit in my mind's eye. And then way down at the bottom of the hill, there is a river. And it's a beautiful river, big stones, lots of cool river rock. But all of my thoughts are running down the river. It's like I have a river of letters and words. And I'll look down there and watch my thoughts in the river. And when I'm in that negative space where my thoughts are doing the cycle, the circle cycle, when I step back, it's almost like I step back onto that hill. And I can watch, instead of the river, I can watch the whatever that circle is that's happening.
I do this a lot when that creating that space, like stepping back, being curious. If I'm dealing with people, like if I'm
Uh-huh.
dealing with a group or like with people that things start to happen that you're just like, this is kind of tense or like this is kind of strange or whatever. I like to create that space to sit back and ask, well, why are they reacting that way? Or like, kind of what's just what's making them tick? Like they obviously have some type of like wound that is being poked or something, because they're acting this way. And that helps me be a little bit more compassionate towards people. But
Like a
sometimes,
compassionate observer.
yeah, but sometimes I will sit back and see the absurdity of the situation and try not to laugh. So like I have to really kind of like, you
You
know,
have to be nice too
and,
with your
and I have to
compassion.
like manage my face because
Love.
sometimes I'm all like, we're all acting like children. We got to stop, type thing. So, but
Mhm.
no, curiosity, I think, is a superpower. And it leads to creativity. It leads to a lot of things.
Yeah, it leads me right back to all of the good C's, change.
Clarity, compassion. Yeah, it does. It leads to
Even
all.
confidence, because when I
Yeah,
step back as a compassionate observer, I feel so much more confident.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
all of those good C's. Okay, so this is what I see. I'm in the messy middle. I've just been
Mhm.
in the messy middle for a little while. I knew it was coming probably 4 or 5 months ago. I started to feel the change begin to churn. And I have a choice in the messy middle, whether I'm going to ruminate and let my thoughts just go round and round and round, or if I'm going to get curious and then just ride the ride. And it's so exciting when I do it because I
Mhm.
still have rumination.
I get it. I get it.
And that's part of being human. There's a reason that one of our principles is it's a 50-50 life.
Mhm.
Because as human beings, our brain is wired to look for trouble and to keep us safe. And we work with that as well as creating all these new thoughts and new ways of being things. But when I come back to the mess, I can think to myself, I'm here in the messy middle. God is still here. And so I come back in, I'm here, I'm with God. I can find these precious things and something new. And I know this is something I learned from you. Something new is being created here. And that's what makes change so good, is the sitting in change, knowing something new is being created. And yeah, it's messy. You think about any little kid that does a craft project when
Mhm.
they're creating something new, it's really messy.
Mhm.
And when you take a whole life and dump it out there on the table, it gets really messy and sometimes painful. But God is creating something new. You look like you have something you want to say.
No, I just no, I agree with everything. It's hard in the middle sometimes and messy because we're uncertain of what it's going to look like. And in our brain, we are creating the narrative that it's going to be bad, but what if it's not?
But
What
what
if
if
it's
it's
going to be
wonderful?
wonderful? What if something good that's is coming apart so something better can fall together? I mean, like, yes, but those are hard to when you're in the middle. I get it. I've been there. I've been there
Okay,
at
so
those moments.
here's the assignment for the week because JC is not here to tell you what book to read. Here's the assignment for the week. Get yourself some new school supplies. get curious about what you got going on. And when things are ugly, pick up your new, for me, my new beautiful green mechanical pencil and realize that learning season is here. Because that's what it is. And maybe it's a cute notebook, or maybe it's just a sticker, or maybe it's just a school mindset. Who knows? I delight every morning when I see the school bus go by. It just makes me happy. But let it be learning. Yeah.
And remember that learning is uncomfortable at times and frustrating and
that are hard.
Yeah, and hard because it's something that's
spent
new.
my morning with a Facebook pixel and it was hard. Didn't like it.
Yeah. So learning, yeah.
Pick up your pencil and at least enjoy the newness and the goodness of some beautiful office supplies. Yeah. Because the new season is beginning, and so are we. It's a new beginning. It's fall. And it's, for me anyway, the best season of the year. Because in Texas, when fall comes, it means it won't be hot for another 9 months. And that's lovely. Yeah, I love it. So I wish I could tell you about book club, y'all, but JC will be back not next week, but the week after. And we will be ready to start book club then. And in the meantime, I'm reading Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning.
Oh, wow.
Which is so enjoyable. Yeah, I had no idea how conversational the book was going to be. I thought it was going to be really hard and deep. I mean, he's a psychologist and he's a deep thinker. That's what I expected. But it's not. It's really thought-provoking in a conversational way. And there's a lot of curiosity in it and a lot of preciousness.
It's been a long time since I've read that one. Maybe I should pick it up again.
Well, I'll tell you how long it's been. I'll just tell a story on myself and then we'll go. Our book club we have a little mastermind group, and we were looking for something. And so we universally decided we were going to study Man's Search for Meaning. But I'm like, oh yeah, that's a great book. I know that'll be a great one. And I've never read it. So I went on Amazon to order it. And it said, you ordered this book in 2007. And I'm like, oh man, I don't even know that I still have it. So much has changed in the last 10 years. I've lived in 2 different places. We rehabbed the house, but I don't even have the book anymore. But I'll just go look and see if I have it in Kindle. Maybe I bought it on Kindle too, right? So I opened the Kindle option and tried to order it on Kindle. It said, you bought this book in May of 2025.
Oh, shoot.
I'm like, okay, so we're talking about divine orchestration. I think I need to read the book.
You need to read the book. I love revisiting those books that I've read in the beginning of my journey, and then like either in the middle or like now, and see how much I have changed
and how differently it reads to you, right?
How different you see and what you know now compared. Yeah, so I'll revisit some of those books, not all of them, but yeah.
Well, I did buy the Audible to go with the Kindle. It was only $5, so that was nice. And I'm listening to it while I read. So I will actually read it this time. But it is curiosity, so much curiosity. And it really, he went through just terrible, terrible things and doesn't have a terrible, terrible viewpoint about it. And that's where his change has been such a gift to all of us. So it's good. So till next week, when we'll talk about something else, sign up for Monday Morning Inspiration, and we will be addressing that same topic in a week. And come see us on CMHCoaching.com, because we have Coach and Clear, and we have Mastermind, and we have lots of private sessions that you could come and participate in if you want to. Great to have you here. Thank you. Oh, and follow us. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, it's all there. Even Slack.
Which, I don't even know that one.
Not Slack, sorry. Substack, even Substack. I love Substack because when I got involved in it, I don't know if it will stay this way or not, but when I got involved with it, it was non-commercial and it was all writers.
Oh, wow.
And so people just posted their writing and you could read their writing and it was wonderful. I think it's picking up speed now and becoming more like a social media of some kind, but we're on Substack too, if you decide you want to read us. So thanks. Till next week. And thank you, Jen.
It's good to be back.
Yes, good to have you back. It is not the same without you.
I can choose to be happy. Day by day I pave the way with every little thought I think.
Hey, thanks for joining us today in A Creator-Based Life. I hope you felt that compassion, mindfulness, and hope you came seeking today. You can find more of it at CMHCoaching.com or on Linktree/CMHCoaching. Of course, any social media outlet, we're there too. Because you felt the benefit and light in this message, please invite those you care deeply about to join us. Help us to create a ripple effect across the globe of compassion, mindfulness, and hope. Then we can create a creator-based life together. Have a great week, y'all. We'll talk to you
I
soon.
just fill my mind with gratitude. I give thanks for everything, with every little thought I think. I can choose to be happy, choose to be free, moment by moment. It's all up to me, 'cause what I think about, I bring about. That's the way it is, and there is no doubt. Day by day I pave the way with every little thought I think. Day by day I pave the way with every little thought I think.